I'm in the pit. I'm in the pit. Have a chill evening, chat. You too, good smile. Give him hell. Give him hell.
Racers, start your engines and let's get it on.
Oh, look at them. We have 20 seconds. That's not enough. It's not enough. Let's go really quick. Woo! That's a perfect color. That's a good color. Looks like my banners. And somebody's honking there. 10 seconds. Here we go. In the Amateur Cup. Green flag. Green flag. And Robbie does not have a bad start at all. Seems to stay in the front at least for T1. As they're going down towards the first turn. Very, very packed together. And I assume something will happen here. Let me see. As somebody's off. Anton Stamov is off. But we don't seem to have any trouble with a crash so far. 4 wide! We are 4 wide here. Down the line right before the right-hander. Let's go back to that. Ay, ay, ay. Nothing big happening here so far. Sketty against Achi side by side. Merlin with him in the mix. Jodake and Anton Stamov side by side as well. Come on, Lars. Lars is doing well. We are changing to him in just a second. But we also have Costo in the mix. Almost side by side with Darren O'Mara. And Lars is trying his best to stay very, very close to Robbie. Hopefully making the move into P1 somehow. And Lars has a bit of a better exit there. Out of the hairpin. And is in slipstream. How much tow can you get from this is the question. We will see. First lap almost done. We are approaching the last turn. There it is. Lars. Oh, and we have a bit of a bump. A bit of a bump. But nothing major. That's just racing. We have a side-by-side here. With him in the mix.
Somebody did the boots. Somebody did the boots.
Yes. Somebody did a boots, yes. Let's jump real quick towards the battle of the Miatas. Well, a few Miatas and an impersonator. Let's see how he does. Thank you for the bit. I appreciate it. And there they go. And Anton. Anton gets pushed off. And he is sideways. Does not touch the fence. But loses it, unfortunately. And is out for that battle for the foreseeable future. We are 3 wide again. And Jodake is in the sandwich. Under attack. Now, what do you do in that moment? And Jodake gets pushed from the rear just a tiny bit. From Octavio, who loses his rear during it and has to step out, losing 3 positions in one go. And Kulich with the spin, with the drift. And they unfortunately collect each other. Gregory Myers and Kulich unfortunately hitting each other in the process. But that spin, that drift there will for sure be my thumbnail for the video. Jodake, beautiful move into P9. Achi still there. Still there. And we are at the hairpin. Jodake keeps it close to the inside there. Not leaving him much space to get through. That wing did not help him much. Nope. That added super duper wing did not help him out. Yodake tries it. Oh my god, we don't see anything. Wow. I did not think he would try to go there. But he did. But he did. We're with Achi, Sketty, Yodake battling in the front here for P8. And Achi is in the mix. Slightly bump drafting Yodake. Drick in the mix now as well, taking P10 from Achi. As we go down, T1, T2, T3. Who breaks the least? Drick! Drick gets a bit of a snap, has to stay out of it. Achi back in P10. And last, unfortunately, we didn't have it on camera, but it did happen. Last T, losing the place to Darren O'Mara, but that might also have been a strategic move, as they were in the same team in the GTO class in the 6 hours of Daytona. Maybe that is just a cordial, here, there you go, you are faster, I'll let you go into P2, you can do it. Who knows? But there is a lot of battles still on the track here. In the Amateur Cup on Bridgehampton. 20 minutes left. And we have the battle for P2. It does seem like the AE is not having as much slipstream as the Miata. The Miata is crazy in terms of that. I felt like on the start straight finish, the amount of error, of draft of toe was really, really good. And last T, back in P2, moved to the inside, but Darren O'Mara is always where the battle is. And I think we will see a move here. Has the inside, but does not stay there. Steps out a bit. Last T, slightly touching the sand, but not a problem. Not a problem for him. Still in the mix. Lars has to try to run off with it now. But Darren O'Mara, he's here. He is here and ready for the move. We will go to the Miata battle in just a moment. But that battle here has priority. The battle for P2. And Robin, by the way, with 3 seconds, seems to be running away, as I said before. In terms of the lap times, did I say it or did I not say it earlier when he was doing his 2 minute, 1 second and 7 tenths that he just has to have a race pace of about half a second slower and he will still be running away? Look what he's doing now. He is about 6 tenths slower than earlier when he had the first qualifying lap, and he's running away. Robbie, absolute masterclass here. Shows what this is about. Crazy, crazy trade. And Darren O'Mara, I think it won't be enough for a lot of slipstream before the turn. I think he's not close enough right now to make that on the last turn. No, I don't believe it. Won't happen. He might go for a crazy reach into the inside, but I think he waits. He waits, and Lars loses it slightly, but closes it up a little touch there. That could have been a move, although it wasn't. Robbie with the fastest lap, that's only 3 tenths slower than his qualifying lap. He is absolutely blazing through Bridgehampton. No chance for the P2 battle here to catch up, especially when they are currently fighting. Let's go with the Miatas for a while because they are still deep in the pack. Yodake, that's 5 Miatas here. Very close together. The triple battle there for P8 here in the front. Yodake himself in P12 has Sketty in front of him. Octavio slightly going off there, or like slightly going offline there. But still very much in the mix. I see very good racing. Very cordial racing here. Yodaka goes slightly wide there. And doesn't seem to be losing much, especially with the fight in the front going on. And we have a trail of Mazda Miatas here. Look at that. Look at that. We have all the colors. All the colors of Miatas. Oh, and Yodaka drifts. Yodaka loses it. And I think Drake as well almost lost it. Has to step out as well. And Yodaka, it's not time for donuts just yet. No. Absolutely not. Oh, here we have a side-by-side. Can we take a moment and cherish that Good Smile Racing is in the Miata and he is in front there in P4. Keeping up with the AEs. Staying in the slipstream. And, like, he is doing very, very well for himself. Look at that. Costo and Christoph Leipold fighting. Dani, welcome, welcome. And look at how much he can push in that turn compared to the AEs. Wow. Getting closer again to them. And by the way, there is a battle for P2. Very much immediately in front of us. Lars and Darren O'Mara are still battling for it. We'll jump in there in just a moment. But look at Good Smile Racing here. Look at this. Look at this crazy guy fighting it out with much faster cars. Staying in their wake. Getting the tow. Wow. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. Personal best from Kulich in the Miata. Currently does not have a good race here in P16 at the moment. Good Smile Racing has the inside there. We are at the hairpin. And now he tries to get a good draft from Christoph. Slipstreaming up towards the last turn. Has the outside there. Costo in the mix there as well. Side by side yet again. Beautiful, beautiful battle. Good Smile. Applause, applause for battling the much, much faster cars here. We'll go back to them soon. What we see now is the battle in front. Octavio versus Skitty. It's happening, folks. Side by side. And look at that. How much slipstream you get. Archie is basically... Just saw them real quick and... I feel like the slipstream is much, much better on the Miatas. That might be why Good Smile Racing is so far ahead. Battling the other Toyotas. Octavio? Oh, you have to be so careful here. Achi in P10 slightly touched the gravel. The car immediately lost the rear. He had to catch it there for a moment. Has it back now. The battle for P10 is here. As for Darren O'Mara and Lars T, that battle is still going on. You thought it was over? No. Lars in the front. Darren O'Mara in P3. Where do we end up on this podium here? Who is going to have the nose in the front at the end of this race? 11 minutes left. As Darren O'Mara out of the hairpin and back in the slipstream. might be able to make the move on Lars T. I think this could be enough for an inside job there, but he doesn't. He waits for the start straight finish. And he will make the move to the inside, maybe. If Lars lets him. It looks very much so that he... Nope. Goes for the inside. Darren O'Mara stays outside. It's happening. It's happening. We go into T1. Down the hill. Darren, very collected. Makes the move around the outside. Beautiful. Beautiful execution. Can Lars get that back immediately? Or will we have to wait for the next straight? 10 seconds away there, somewhere way in the front, is Robbie. A quarter pounder, that is a 7 days to die thing that only works when we have the game on, unfortunately. So, that is only working for 7 days to die. Marlene as well with the new personal best. And we have an active battle here. Christoph Leipold seems to have lost that battle for a moment. He was way up there earlier. Something must have happened. I am not sure what. But he now has to get that places back here in the Valley of the Left. So I think he can get closer and closer to Drake. And maybe go for a move on the next straight. I would say not much earlier than that. Look at him going. Twitch wants a half a minute of... I heard that. What was happening there? What was happening there? I want to see what that was. Twitch wants half a minute of an ad, and we will go into that. We'll be right back, guys. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Hey, but saved. Absolutely safe. Beautiful. Oh, that was it. Octavio. The hit with Christoph Leipold. And another hit. Ay. What is going on here? What is going on? The Toyota battling the Miata. Darren O'Mara still trying to catch Lars. And something happened to Robbie, I think.
Mazda Miata.
I think something happened. No, never mind. It just changed back. Yo, Dake, concentrate on driving. Don't type in chat. What you doing here? What you doing? What you doing in P12? Oh, Sketty. Off Atchi goes into P8. Next one, Drake. In the Miata. And Drake, by the way, holding up very, very good. On the Daytona, he was driving the BMW, right? Drake, yes, was driving the BMW 320i in the GTX. And now he is kicking it in the Miata. Maju as well, by the way. Battling it out. With Goodsma Racing. No, I mean what I said, Mufa. I mean what I said. Side-by-side battle for P4. What a beauty. Getting him back on the straight for sure. Darren O'Mara in P3 has lost the trail to Lars T a bit and continues to do so. Going onto the gravel. And I think that lost him some time. He touches gravel again. And I think that is very, very not good. Lars, 3 seconds away. That lost him too much time. Lars will have some breathing room in P2 now. In his blue Toyota. Darren O'Mara lost track of him. Now the battle for P4 is far from over. Maju and Goodsmall Racing, they did not meet each... I think I'm right about this. No, I am. I believe. Wait a minute. Let me just... No, I can't figure it out. No, yes. So they didn't meet each other in an immediate battle in the last race in the 6 hours. And now they are. Same car, same chances. And Maju makes the move. But Good Smile gets him on the switchback. Maju, P5, still tries his best to keep close. And we have Costo in the back there, catching up, lap by lap. And that will give Good Smile Racing and Maju some slipstream opportunities once Costo actually is close to them. And with them fighting there in the front, that gives Costo a good opportunity to catch up. 4 minutes left. We don't have many laps. We don't have many laps left. Maybe 2. I think... No, we have one more. So... The one that the leader does now, then 2 more. And then we should be done with the race. And look at that active battle there in the front. Look at that active battle there in the front. Maju is not letting it sit. He is constantly around Good Smile Racing. Beautiful racing what we see here. A little bit of a bump there. But all cordial. Into the valley of the lefts. Into the hairpin. Maju prepares for a much better exit. Can he get him? I think he lost more time preparing for it. But is doing a better second sector than ever for himself. New personal best on the second sector, at least. Back in the slipstream. And now Costo is very, very close to the 2 of them. And they both battle for the inside there. Good Smile definitely says, you know, you can try, but I'm not giving you much there. Maju on the outside. Costo making the move there. Getting both of them in one go. Maju hits gravel. Into T3. Into T2, sorry. Sorry. That is a very, very close battle here. And Costo does not get much breathing room either. Because Good Smile Racing is already there. And Maju isn't far away either. A little bump again. A lot of elbows out here today. Side by side, Costo and Goodsmar Racing into the Valley of the Lefts. Goodsmar Racing does not have the top speed there or the acceleration to keep the inside. Costo gets that without much trouble. A little punt again, and oh, we're drifting, we're drifting. Wow. Wow. Good smile. Quick punt there, but keeps calm and stays on track. Lost some time in the process, so I think Costo is gone. That slipstream opportunity has gone away. But we're still doing it. We're still doing it. Are we bump drafting? It looks like we are. It looks like we're trying to bump draft ourselves back to the front. As we go down T1 yet again. We are in overtime. So Robbie is on the last lap. So let's make sure we get some footage of him in the Valley of the Lefts there. Extraordinary driving, 15 seconds. Driven out from Lars T and Darren O'Mara, who were battling for most of this race. Goodsmar Racing, always kind of in the mix there with other Toyotas. But couldn't make the move and couldn't stay with them. I think they crashed, though. That was Christoph Leipold earlier, I believe, who had a bit of an oopsie where Goodsmar Racing was part of. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But here we are. On to the last straight. Robbie wins at Bridgehampton. 15 to 16 seconds ahead. He had pole. He was the faster car. Lars will go over the line in P2. What a battle with Darren O'Mara. But I think that mistake from Darren earlier, that unfortunately took him out of the battle. And there it went. The chance for P2. Finishes P3 on the podium still. That's good. And we have a... Oh my god, we have a side-by-side here. Who goes over? I believe it's Maju. With the nose in front. In P5. Goodsmar Racing P6. Waving the checkered flag there. Kulich already over, but I think he's not 7th. That looks more like it. Christoph Leipold. We have Drick as well. We have Sketty. We have Achi in P10. We have Octavio in the mix as well. Gregory Myers. Merlin. Sebastian Jordake. And Anton Stamov. On the final straight here with the Toyota. Not his day. There we go. Kulich and Anton Stamov, unfortunately, with problems today. Beautiful. GG's. Good smile racing. What a... That was crazy. That was really, really cool. So now reverse grid. Completely reversed? Or how are we doing this? Because I did not get the memo. Let me look at it real quick. Where is it? Full reverse. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. So rolling start in tomorrow's races. Interesting. Now we will see that L1 pile up. That might very well be Ace. But you voted for the first race, and the first race was actually pretty decent, I have to say. But it might happen. It might happen indeed. We might now see the pile up. Did we have some people who deserved a... No, I don't think we had anyone new here on the car list on the stream avatars. 5 seconds and we're in for the full reverse. And this is going to be interesting. As Kulich and Anton Stamov are in the front. Jordake, Merlin, Octavio, Gregory Myers, Christoph Leipold, Achi, Sketty, Lars T, Drake. Okay, you know, the CMRT is a bit buggy, but it's okay. Maju, Costo, and Darren O'Mara. Robbie couldn't make the second race, I think. Which means now we're going with Anton Stamov in the front. Green flag. Here we go for round 2 of the 2-part race. And Kulich has a good start. Here can keep Anton Stamov out of it. As we come down the hill, do we have a touch? Do we have a crash? Looks good to me. Looks very, very good to me. Robbie is getting back in. But he is in the back. T2 looking good so far. Everything looks good. Kulich still in the front. While we go back to, are we 4 wide again? Not this time. It seems. Not this time. Octavio and Sketty fighting for it. Gregory Myers with him in the mix. And they're in the front. The battle is brewing. And Gutzma Racing says, I'm here too. Into the Valley of the Lefts we go. And hits that curb very, very unfortunately. On the wrong end. And gets sandwiched between Maju and Drigg. You know how it is, but how will they get out of this today? Maju, the upper hand. Ooh, almost. But gets it done. Kulich still in the front, still in P1. Anton Stamov P2 still. And Jordake P3. Fighting against Merlin now. Who is getting closer and closer, is in the slipstream and should be able to make the move to the inside for the last turn, and I think he does. I think he very well does. He puts his car in that spot, and he runs it down the inside. Does not look like we get a switchback immediately, and Jordake might have other problems now. Namely, Octavio, who is trying to take a bit more space than there is. There was a car in between. And Anton Stamov into P1 against the Mazda Miata. Into T2 we go. Slightly drifting into place. But that battle is not over. Anton lost some time here. Kulich tries to clear himself the inside, but nope. Nope, that is not happening here. Let's go to the battle that... It's crazy how much more battling there is between the Miatas. And there in the mix is Gregory Myers as well. But look at how much they're battling and how much closer that is. Yodaka slightly going off, but can hold the car straight and go back onto the track. We're 3 wide there in the front, as you see, through the valley of the lefts. Give me the interval. We are definitely side by. And there is the small little punt. Yodake victorious out of that battle. But if you look in the rear view mirror, that ain't fun. That is not fun to watch if you see that there is like a huge crowd forming behind you, trying to get ahead, and they have the slipstream to pull it off. Let's go with Drake for a moment here. Darren O'Mara with him in the mix as well. And so far, we are bunched up. There is a lot of battles happening on this track all at once. And it's very tough to decide which battle has priority here. But Drake gets a very good run out of the last turn onto the start straight. And he does he go for it? No. Sketty gets slightly bump drafted, I think, and 3 wide last T in the mix. Has to go on the brakes there. Maju takes the inside for himself. Last now engulfed in Mazda Miatas. And we have Costo there in the mix as well. Achi, Christoph Leipold. It is extremely close and very, very different from what we have seen in the qualifying earlier. Stamov Kulich is also still a brewing battle that is not ending anytime soon, I feel. And as far as we are concerned, that is going to stay for a while. I know it. I know it. We do have Octavio and Gregory Myers here battling for the step on the podium. Yodake is also still in the mix and makes the move around the inside. Slightly touches Octavio, who has to move out of that battle. Yodake going over into the gravel, but keeps on the inside. A lot of side-by-sides here. Wow. Look at them go. How much battling there is on here. It's crazy. And I do feel Darren O'Mara and the other Toyotas have a heavy problem of getting a clear run on the road here, because there's just too many Miatas in the way, blocking their way and battling them. This is not ending. This is not ending. Yodake immediately going into the slipstream there for Lars. But that did not give him much. Lars is on a mission to a battle against Darren. Yet again. Yet again. Out of it, into the braking zone. And Lars is out. And now it crystallizes itself out a bit. For sure, side by side here. Octavio and Lars. And there is a group forming of 1 Mazda and 3 Toyotas. Make that 4. Make that 4. And that Miata, aka Kulich, is holding on for dear life. He is still in the mix. He is allowed to fight that. And he is fighting that. Careful in the valley of the left. If you don't have a good run into it, if you don't have a good line there, you might be losing out. And losing out Kulich is at the moment. half a lap, and he lost a few places. 2 other Toyotas, 1 Mazda. Side by side with Maju now. Right from the back is Good Smile Racing. Jumping in again. And we're throwing it in. Side by side still. And Kulich lost that battle as well, unfortunately. Drick and Costo are dropping in as well. With their battle. For P8 now. Last T. Currently fastest lap of this race. But Robbie, I knew Robbie had an answer to that. I knew he had an answer to that. There you go. Did you see my T1? I'm not sure, Yodaka. I don't think so. We looked at it, but there was a lot going on. I'm not sure we saw everything. Drake! Drake losing the car! And that is losing him a lot of time and a lot of places. He rejoins. And he's in P15. Before that, he was fighting way up there. But Drake is down for now. Costo in an active battle with Maju in the Mazda. Has the inside. Can he keep that inside? Because now Costo is trying to run away with it. But he can't. Maju stays where he is. P7 for him currently. Darren O'Mara in P1 currently. Last T in P3. I think they will battle down the line for sure. Everything is still extremely close. Nothing is lost just yet. 15 minutes left in this race. Who can win the second round? It does look... If Robbie is pushing more and more and more, he might be able to catch them all and get through them that way. We'll see, we'll see. Good Smile Racing stays behind Anton Stamov, probably bump drafting a bit or getting the slipstream, as Gregory Myers now pulls ahead as well. Good Smile in P5 currently, and we have not a majority, but we have a few Miatas in the front, a few Toyotas in the front of the battle yet again. Anton slightly overestimates himself. And Gregory Myers makes the move. But Octavio is in the mix as well and has the inside, at least for now. Can he go for that? And he not only tries, he is making the move around the inside. And that looked beautiful. And Octavio in an active battle with Good Smile Racing now. Has to see if he can stay ahead or... Oh! Anton Stamov slightly losing it. Still in the mix, but getting sandwiched. Costo goes through. Maju goes through. Right there, side by side. This is crazy how much battling we have here. Beautiful. And Anton Stamov drifting it in. But that lost him a lot of time. Getting the car uneasy. And losing, I would say, almost a second there. Maybe even more now. And Maju still in the slipstream with Costo. Costo still in the slipstream with Gregory Myers. Oh, and what a move! What a move! Gets much of a better exit. Maju takes P6 yet again. Immediately goes into the slipstream for Gregory. He is not done yet. And by the way, we have a Mazda Miata on the podium currently. On the podium currently. Darren O'Mara,
Mazda Miata.
last T, currently fighting for the front there. And Darren O'Mara on the gravel yet again. And losing it completely. Completely. And that is very, very good for Lars. Last he in the front. With 2 seconds to spare. While Octavio and Gutzma Racing fighting for P2. Wow. A very active battle here. Very close racing between everyone. We're more than halfway through as the battle for P2 is currently on. And that is a very, very close battle here through the Valley of the Lefts. And the more Gutzma Racing and Octavio are fighting, the more... And Gutzma goes over! Goes over. Did not lose too much time, but definitely lost the place to Octavio. Now has to keep up, otherwise he will get caught by Maju, who has a much better exit out of that, and is inching closer and closer. Wee! We indeed, Gutzma Racing. We indeed. On P3 currently. And it's going down. Maju has him in its sight. Octavio currently slower than Last T in the Miata. Last T in the Toyota. Octavio in the Miata. And Last T is trying his best to run away with it. Robbie in P6 currently. So I would say Lars is under attack. Lars might be under attack once.
Dash says, "Oh look, a penny."
Indeed. Indeed. Robbie might have a good run into this. Oh, the active battle with Costo here. But Robbie... 2 to 3 seconds faster than anybody else here. Holy shit! Anton Starmov going for that hill exit. Glad he could keep the car alive. That was a move. That was a move. Slightly underestimating his speed. And going for the move there. Up the hill, down the hill. Robbie P5. And he has the Miatas in front of him now. 3 of them. Gutzma Racing got his P2 back. But with Robbie on the run, I don't think he will have that for much longer. Look him go out. Robbie is flooring it. Has some purple segments here and there. And he makes the move into 3 wide. Has the inside. Gives Maju a little bit of a tap. But that is just heavy racing, I would say. Robbie has done extremely well. You have to think about that Robbie reconnected to the server and was, I think, 20 seconds behind everyone. And he basically caught up since then in a beautiful, beautiful fashion, I would say. And we will look very, very soon who he's fighting in just a moment, because he's getting close to Lars and he's making the move soon. In this battle between the Miatas and the Toyotas, Octavio slightly going over. Maju making the move into P4. Gutzma Racing still in the run there, but has to take the outside. Octavio with a very, very overzealous throw into the turn. Slightly drifting it in there. And Costo takes that round the outside easily with his Toyota. Now Robbie is in P2. And the hunt begins. 7 minutes left. Robbie has 5 seconds. He has to catch up to Lars. And we will see if he can do that. But my money is on yes. My money is on yes. With the current way he is driving, he seems to be so much faster than everybody else here on the grid. This is truly a magnificent drive from Robbie here. But also, 2 Miatas in the front here on P3 and 4, fighting it out actively. And we are slipstreaming our way to the front. And with that draft comes a 2.2.5 on the Miatas. For the qualifying times we had on the Miatas, that is quick. But if you have Robbie for a slipstream, you're getting there. You're definitely getting there. Goodsmar Racing, P3 currently. Maju P4. Lars still in the front on P1, but getting hunted by Robbie in P2. We have Costo on P5. Octavio in P6. Gregory Myers, P7. Darren O'Mara, P8. Achi, P9. Sketty, P10. Maju slightly losing the trail now on Goodsmar Racing, but still close enough that he could catch the slipstream of him. 3.5 seconds between the prime battle between P1 and P2, and you have it on camera. You see Robbie right now there in the front, getting closer and closer every lap. But will it be enough? Will it be enough? Lars is getting hunted down. Wow. Last T, second in the last race. Currently leading as Robbie, there he is catching up. 3.5 seconds and 4 minutes. We won't have many more laps after this. And currently this could get very, very close, guys. This could get very close. If Lars T stays on the lap time he does now, and Robbie stays on the lap time he does now, this could be too close, and I don't think the move can be made there in the end. That is at least what my math says. But Robin might turn it up once more. And you never know. Lars has to bring the A game now if he wants to stay ahead. Into the valley of the lefts he goes. P1. With beautiful moves. A fight against Darren O'Mara yet again. And everywhere where Darren O'Mara is, there is the battle. We have seen it before. If he fights with someone, it usually takes a few laps before that resolves itself. We saw it in the 6 hours of Daytona. We now have seen it against Last T. And now we throw it into the last turn. And now the interval is the most important thing, because currently, I have to say, it looks very much This is... now, the question is... If Lars is doing a 2 minute 4, then this is the last lap of the race. If he is quicker than that, which he is kind of on the run to be as quickest as possible, he might have to do another lap, and then Lars definitely gets him. And then Robbie definitely gets him. So how is he going to play this? Lars needs to slow a little to make this a last lap. Yes. And that is the interesting part. If Lars slows down now, Robbie might catch him. If Lars stays out and, like, does a normal lap, and this is not the last lap, on the next lap, Robbie definitely gets him, I think. That is interesting. What a race this has been. What a crazy race. Lars in the front there. Maju and Goodsmar Racing fighting for it, but all eyes are on Lars. Can he win here? He has to slow down. He has to make a... You do it just before the line to make sure. But will he? Will he have that on... What's the plan? This is going to get close. And there in the background is the battle Maju, Goodsmar Racing, and Costo. But it looks like Lars T has that. It looks like. Will he break or not? Will he break or not? He has to decide now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this, he goes over. We have another lap. He tried, I think. And now Robbie is there. Lars T has to defend. He has to defend like hell. He wanted to give us a bit of excitement. Well, now we have it. Well, now we have it. Lars T keeps on the inside there. Robbie tries to put the pressure on the outside now. This is a crazy battle here. And Maju, Costo, and Goodsmar Racing are also still fighting it out. It would have been too close. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Robbie on the outside. Lars is fighting. Lars is fighting for it. He keeps the inside. Tries to keep on the inside. Robbie tries for the next inside. That does not look good. But Slipstream is also a thing. We are going side by side into the last turn. And here we go. Lars goes for the outside. Wow! Side by side. Robbie goes back. Slipstreaming. Tries to have the nose in the front. But I think it's on Lars. Damn! What a race. Holy shit, that was really close. 0.07. Well done. Well done, Lars. Holy hell. That was a crazy battle. Costo P3, sorry we weren't there. We will look at the end there. We will look at the end there. 4 P3. That was, come on. Goodsmar Racing, there we go. Maju and Costo fighting for P3 there. Oh, and Good Smart Racing. Darren O'Mara. The legend bump drafts Good Smart Racing over the line. Blue gearbox on the last lap. Light bulb X. Darren pushed me through the line. Hey, absolutely crazy. That is very nice of him. Blew the gearbox. That's unfortunate. So Costo on P3. Maju P4. Beautiful race. That was major fun. That was a treat to look at. There was always a battle. There was always a battle. If it was Maju and you, Good Smile. If it was Darren and Lars. Like, everybody was fighting. And especially the Miatas were so close there. Right at the beginning of the race. Really, really fun to watch. Oh. Actually getting some of the gas. Yeah. Yeah. Beauty. Beauty. G. I am interested, but you guys need some time to figure that out and to math all the math things on who will have won this race, like how the points will be calculated in the end. Because I'm kind of interested. Hey, no problems. No problems. I'm glad I could jump in there right at the end. Like, basically, you guys were already in quali when we kind of figured out that, yeah, I could definitely stream that. And me and Costo figured it out. Then I usually do replays after race. The points will be posted. Yeah. I kind of thought that might take a bit of time to calculate that through and everything. So let me get